Hello, everybody. Reset the stream with the proper name now as we have a look at Pippo. There we go. Big game, small game. Let's bring me up. Hello, everybody. Welcome once more to another stream on Twitch. Also archived over at YouTube with the it's twitch.tv/Spence, and it's YouTube. It's Retro Spectrum. If you want to go and subscribe, have a look at there. Although it's just kicking off, so it'll be nice. I'll find a link. We could probably get a link for you. Lean over to the YouTube computer, because we don't have enough people subscribing to have an actual name on the new YouTube channel yet. Yay! Right then, what game do we... No, we're going to do the link first. Otherwise, I will forget. And it also gives time for people just to get up to speed with a little bit of connection. Do we have the channel address in the other window? It's coming. It's a coming, and it's long, and it's boring, and it looks like... Oh, I'll find it in a minute. Don't worry. Right, bum, 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 bum. Where's my chat window gone? Where's my horse and pfeffer? Horse and pfeffer would be nice. Would be fun. I'll get there in the end, just because everybody out there knows exactly where everything is in the chat room. There we go. Canal. Canal, because canal is an actual word. It's channel. Ye bless. Right then, where are we going to go for tonight? I've got the game. It's not quite queued up. There's a reason for that. But it is Pippo. Now, Pippo is, as you can tell from the lovely logo at the bottom, from Mastertronic. Budget game. $1.99. Came out in 1986. Spanish title. Giovanni Zanetti, Paolo Milani, and RAF as the authors. One player's Kempton joystick. As usual, we don't have a Kempton joystick. We have a PlayStation controller with USB cable and all wired in, pretending to be a Kempton joystick. And yeah, budget releases. This is mid-80s, so they're getting a lot of stream coming. At some point, we're going to have to do a massive look at Dizzy in the future. But Pippo is a fun one. And I've got it up here because it has a lot of good memories for me. It's one I remember playing from a friend's computer. And in those days, it's like, can I borrow that game? And the answer was yes, of course you can. And you loved it. So what do you do when you have a tape that you like in those days? You make sure you got a double-deck tape recorder. There we go. No, I went out and found it. There we go. Right then, so let's just bring up the game screen here. Now, there are a couple of reasons, Pippo. It's stuck in my mind. It's as I've mentioned in the launch bit, it's like this strange cross between Q Bert and Pacman, and it's arcade and it's cheap, and it has some really good graphical effects. And for the Spectrum to actually get you to do a big shock of graphics is always interesting. Or you can tell the gaming's serious now. Shoulders are getting warmed up. You've got some great transitions and effects that come out of this game. So that's why we've left it on the classic Spectrum screen to load in. So we'll lean over and bring that up just now. Okay, we have it as a tape file. There we go. So here is Pippo loading itself away quite happily in the corner. And is that where we want to be? Bum, bum, bum. Yep, because once we've got everything done and it's loaded, how Spectrum is that? Okay, so straight away let's start off with the fact that you've got wonderful use of the color attributes and the overlays going on here, making it look like every element is flashing. That's just simply not the case with the Spectrum. Let's just bring the volume down on my headphones to match the volume that you've got there. Because in each 8x8 pixel square, you can only have two colors, which meant that you could hold that entire screen in 7K. It also meant that you could switch the colors. So if your screen was red and green with on and off, you could switch it to green and red very, very quickly. So which is why we have all the these. Yeah, that's just a really good piece of 8-bit art, or 8-bit cartoon artwork with the flashing. So we'll move on to the next bit, and you get a lovely transition coming through here. Now remember, this is a budget game. They've got a cheap effect. There's a big moving graphic. That was impressive. It's one of the reasons that the game stuck in my head, was it just had the graphics that made it look like it was doing something different. And then you had this great big full screen. And I'm just going to pop this up to full screen for a second to have a look at that. Partly because that's going to be a great screenshot. So we're going to screen cap that one for the channel. So I do need to leave it up there just for a little bit. High score tables, which of course never kind of stay there because you're in cassette loading. So you kind of have to remember in your head what's going on with the score tables on that one. And let's just... Here we got instructions. Lovely. Let's step through these. It's been a while. This is Pippo, a mutant space hopper with arms and flappy things. And you've been chosen to guide Pippo, which is a different case. I suspect it was a different name, or they've had to do an English translation. Go back to instructions again. This is Pippo, which is guiding. We've got 32 phases of the game, and that's 4 phases in each of the levels. The main of the game is to fill in the current colour of the screen. You've went away again. It's not just got a habit of just constantly moving on, so it can be a bit frustrating. Maybe it just wasn't thinking that in 40 years, 30 or 40 years time, people would be talking over the instructions to the game. The main object is to fill in the current colour of the screen, avoid the nasties jumping, and pay attention to the deep holes on the board. You will have balls, numbers, shoes, and this flying UFO to watch out for. Tenorino, or extra life. Yeah, you're going to need that at some point. You get extra life flying around. The smiling face changes colours, but people can stop it without problems. Without problems means you can stand on him, and you can jump on him, and you just need to touch him, and he will disappear. You have an energy pill, which will be useful, and change everything into springs, because Pippo, Jumpy, whatever is going on. And that's it. That's all the instructions that we have in the game. So, shall we head in? Trusty controller ready. We'll go full screen though to start this off for you out there watching as we go into the game. Yes, Kempston joystick. It's a quick shot too there. If you're like, yes, I know you can do your fancy opening titles. Yep, step through your big full screen graphic moves as well. That's fine. 3, 2. Notice how that's going into the border of the screen. Hold on. Let me just leave that thing for a second. But normally you've got the border around the spectrum screen and you've got the block in the middle. Here it's the black border and the black screen. But yeah, 3, 2, 1 took up the whole screen. Again, an impressive, memorable effect. It was edge to edge on your screen, not edge to edge on the bit of the central of the game. Right, let's see how long I can bounce around here without dying. Let's just get out of the way. The center square with the right. And you can see straight away what is going on here. This is not an incredibly complicated game. This is pretty clear what's going on. You've got to, in this case, grab the extra life, grab the power pill, watch everything turn to springs, turn each of the squares into the target color. It is, let's face it, a bit easy sounding. We can see here with a smiley face. Yep, just touch him. And for once you get to do the insta-death on a touch. Of course, everything else on the screen does the insta-death as well. You have the advantage of speed, at least with some of these creatures. But not with the UFO. But anyway, there we go. First round, 2,000 points. Ta-da! And we've got 32 of these to go through. 32 phases. This is round 32 rounds, round 2, stage 1. And yep, we've got those deadly holes in the ground. We've got 4. And some levels have 4, some levels have 2, at least with the starting enemies. We've seen the UFO come round. We've seen the smiley jumpy face. We've seen the extra life. We're not going to take the power pill. Oh, well. We will take the power pill just now then. Fair enough. I was going to keep that till later in the round to be a bit more tactical, because there are some tactics here. One of them is to make sure you don't get stuck in a corner, because yes, it is a full screen, but there's actually not a lot of space. You're 755 grid here. It's a very basic maze, but it can very easily leave you trapped. Level 2 done. Okay, hey, am I still here on the screen? Yep, there I am. Hello. Right, round 3. You'll see, of course, that we're using the full color palette of the spectrum here on the various levels. So this is now a dark level. We've inverted the colors, so Pippo is white, and we have the blue to catch against some nasty jam jars. It's quite a steady-paced game. You've got that ticker going off in the background, kind of keeping everything going, but everything moves at a steady pace. So you'll see here that all the creatures are moving at the same time, so they're going on that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 beat. Whereas you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you do have an advantage, but when the UFO pops up, you'll find out there. You also find out that once you start to move into next square, you can't back up again. This isn't a lightning fast reaction game. You've got to let the animation finish off. So it's a bit like real-time chess. So if I press left, I can wait until I have to let that move finish off to go through. So it is an arcade game, but it's quite deliberate as well. It's quite, as I said, and that kind of appealed to me. It wasn't always about the reaction speed. You could look ahead, you could see what was going on, you could sort of plan to try and stay away from everything, make sure that you're not trapped in a corner or anything. You could occasionally just dart around to do that, but of course now I've only got one way out, and that was a lucky escape. Here we got there. Oh, extra life. Grab the extra life. Grab the extra life. So we'll wait and see where everybody's moving. You're moving right into me. Fair enough. We shall grab you. Dink, dink, dink. There we go. So we've done 4. And our 4 stages, which means we've finished the first level. And we're on to level 2. It's a pretty simple game. This is it. You've got almost all the tweaks and understand everything that's going on now. There's only one more thing to understand about this game, and you'll see this now. We're on magenta. We're trying to get light grey, but when we touch the squares, they're turning blue. And that's because we're on level 2, so you need to touch each square twice to get to the right colour. So we're just having to spend a little bit more time around the board. We're having to pick up that parapet way too early, and now we're going to have that UFO just sitting around and lurking on the screen for however long it takes to get another parapel coming up. I could get... You're not on pixel perfect collision mode here, you're on square perfect collision mode here. Just try and keep away. I'm stuck in a corner now, so try and keep diagonally away from everybody, because nobody can move diagonally in this game. I'm going to have to go back into here to get everything that was blue to... Which, it's grey, but it's white. The Spectrum called it white, and then there's bright white as well. So my ancient retro eyes call that white, but it's actually grey. Coffee time while we have a little break. Okay, we're in blue. We're trying to get to yellow. That's bright yellow. Oh, great, we control this. So Spectrum had 8 colours, but each colour had the ability to be bright as well. So technically you had 16. And you can see here that what we've now got now is both of these squares are technically yellow. When you look into the Spectrum code, they're both represented by yellow, but one of the squares has the attribute of being bright. You can probably guess which ones. And I made a mistake there. Extra life was turned into a spring. I got the spring, but you only get the extra life when he's the extra life character. Tactics failing me again. Where are we going now? You know, I think I can just sneak through there. Yes, I can. Excellent. Where's the corner boot going? That's fine. Tap, tappity, tappity, tap. And sneak into a diagonal. Ah, lovely. Got my extra life back again. Let's grab you now. Level 5. Up and left and right and across and there and yellow, and we've got one to go. Are you going to let me get near it? Am I going to run? No, I don't. Yeah, I'm going to run now. Yeah. Out and back again. 3,000 points. Yay! And that is Pippo. It is like many of the Spectrum games. There is a solid premise to it. It doesn't take much to explain. Oh, here we've got white and bright white again. So we're doing bright white first. And we have to get back to normal white. But we've only got one of those nasty gap holes in this level. Oh, okay, I might get stuck here. I'm going to have to sneak my way around here. Let's just do a big old line. You know what? I'm not going to go for them yet. We're just going to fill the colors in as we go through. And that is Pippo. Apart from one final effect, which is if you go off the sides, because you can fall off the sides, and if you do that, you get the delightful attempt at the Spectrum trying to do a voice. You ready for this? This is the stuff of nightmares coming up. 8-bit synthesized sound. And Pippo continues like that, and goes through. And if you wait there long enough, it will kill me. But we're just going to pause the game there for a second and say thank you all for watching. That's another Spectrum game on the channel. And thank you for now. Comments can be left, as always, back here or on YouTube. And do subscribe for the notifications to see when the next transmission comes out. Ta-ra for now.